Dear friends, today I am giving you a very interesting kind of tip which will help you to look at things in a very bright and prospective way. When we meet people and develop a kind of relationship, we may get into a positive kind of relationship, or we may also get into a kind of experience which may be the cause of the kind of jolt. Now, why does this happen? This happens primarily because we try to explain the behavior of others in a positive manner or in a kind of negative manner. So when you find a person loitering on the street, you may have two kinds of explanation. You may feel, okay, this particular person is loitering because he has an ulterior motive in him or her. Or you may have a feeling that, okay, this particular person is loitering because of some positive and meaningful kind of work. Therefore, the way we look at things, the way we explain the behavior of others really colors our life in different kinds of ways. Here I will try to tell you three different kinds of explanatory style which will take you to one track of things or the other track of type. It may make you depressive or it may make you very kinds of a happy person. First of all, especially when we encounter negative events, we try to explain in three different ways. We try to ask three fundamental questions, and the way we answer really influences the pattern of our life. I will call this the explanatory style. First of all, when you encounter a negative event, if the first question that you encounter is, who is responsible for the event? For example, suppose you get an accident and one of your hands gets fractured. So obviously you will ask yourself, who is responsible for this accident? Now there are two possibilities. If you think that you are solely responsible, then obviously you will have more guilt, you will have more self-blame, and you will feel more depressed. On the contrary, if you feel that you got this accident because other people are driving carelessly or erratically or other circumstances are responsible, obviously your self-blame, your guilt and depression would be less. Therefore, I am not asking you that to blame others for any kind of negative event that happens to you, but try to analyze the role of other people, other circumstances, so that your self-blame would be also less. Similarly, suppose you are arranging a party and nobody turned around. So if you think that nobody turned around because you arranged the party in a very careless manner, in a very inefficient manner, then you will feel really depressed. On the contrary, if you explain that people did not come because of the rain, because of the scorching heat, or because of there were reception elsewhere, therefore you will not feel really depressed. Therefore, dear friends, that when bad things happen, negative things happen, don't put the blame entirely on you. Try to analyze the external factor, external circumstances. This is one. Second, you ask another question. If something bad happens, something negative happens, the second question people ask, how long would the impact would stay? Now, if you think that the negative impact is very long lasting, very permanent, naturally you will get more depressed. Just like a disease becomes chronic, your depression, your helplessness would be very chronic. Nothing can be done in this country. If you have this kind of mindset, obviously you will have more depression, more kinds of, kind of negative feeling. On the contrary, if you feel that the things are very temporary, it is very transitory, it will just come, it has come and it will so go off, then obviously you will not feel depressed and you will have a very smooth sailing in very small amount of time. Therefore, when bad things happen, don't consider it permanent, just treat it very, very temporary. The third explanatory style is whether you are explaining the event in specific terms or in global terms. Let me explain what I mean. That suppose a person meets an accident and fractures one of his hand. So one person may say that, well, my hand is fractured and I can do few other things, though I cannot operate a machine in my plant, but still I can proofread, I can do few other works. Here, the person's hand has been broken, but still then he thinks that he can do a few other kind of work. So therefore it is a very specific kind of difficulty which he has experienced. On the contrary, a same person or another person may think that when the hand is fractured, oh, my life is totally gone. So if you have this kind of global experience, if you percolate it to other areas of your life, if you spill it over to other areas of life, obviously your depression would be more pervasive, more general, and your happiness would be very pervasive. Similarly, suppose your friend betrayed you. So you may think, oh, my friend has betrayed me. It is a social experience. It has nothing to do with my work. So you will be a good worker. On the contrary, if you think, oh, my friend has betrayed me, what is the guarantee that my boss will take cognizance of my merit? You will feel more depressed. You will feel more inactive and lethargic. Therefore, when bad things happen, do not spill over to other areas of life. Try to confine it, limit it to the area where it has had. So to sum up, there is good explanatory style and there is bad explanatory style. If you use bad explanatory style, then when bad things happen or negative things happen, you blame yourself totally, you consider it very permanent, and you spill it over to other areas of life. On the contrary, the good explanatory style is different. If you have good explanatory style and bad things happen, then you try to analyze the external factors. Second, you try to consider it very temporary or very fragile and a very short kind of thing. And third, if bad things happen, always try to restrict it or to limit it to the area in which it has happened. But what are you going to do if good things happen? If good things happen, you should just do the reverse. If good things happen, try to analyze your own role. If you organize a good function and it is very successful, just think what are the specific role you perform in implementing that kind of function. Similarly, if good things happen, try to consider it permanent. Suppose something good happened today, you talk it over tomorrow, you talk it over day after tomorrow. So more you stretch it over times, more efficacious, more happy, and more pleasurable you will experience over the days. Similarly, when good things happen, try to spill it over the areas. If something happens to your family, try to talk it over to your colleagues in the plant. If something good happens in your plant, in your workplace, try to talk it over in the family. So more you spill over, more you generalize, more happy and pleasant you will experience over the situation. Therefore, negative things, analyze the role of others, consider it temporary and limit it to the area. On the contrary, if good things happen, try to analyze your own role, consider it very permanent, and also spill it over to other areas of your life. This will make you really a very efficient and happy person. Thank you.